Hi 7th graders, today we are going to be weaving a mug rug. So you're going to get a little loom like this. Then you're going to come over to the yarn area and hopefully it's going to look better than this. You are going to get some yarn out of your skew. This is a skew of yarn. It has a little mouth like this, and it should have string hanging out of its mouth. That's the proper way to get string. So that is why we have it hanging down, so it's an easy way for you guys to access the string. So you're going to pick your string. You're going to get 2 big pulls of string. So I got 2 pulls. Okay, I know it's kind of confusing. You're going to cut it where it's still hanging down. You want to leave string hanging out of the mouth of the skew. Then you're going to come back to your table with your string. And the first thing you're going to do is you are going to warp your thread. Maybe, sorry, this is a very bad video. It's very quick. So you're going to take your weaving, and on your loom, it has little fingers at the top and the bottom. Fingers and toes is what I like to call them. So on that, you're going to first start by just putting a piece of string through one of the fingers at the top. Just stick it through. You don't have to do anything with it. If you want to secure it, there is some tape at your table. You can grab a piece of masking tape. Whoops, you fell. And you could tape this little part down like that on the top. And then after you tape it down, I keep falling, I'm so sorry. Okay, I think I've dropped you like 5 times. Then you are going to, let's see if I can make this work. Let's see, I'm gonna have my assistant step up. Come here, Jax. Come here and hold this right here for me. Right there, okay. All right, so then after you have that, you're going to take this, you're gonna go down, go around a toe. Thank you, Mr. Toe. Around a finger, up, around a toe, down, finger, toe, finger, toe. Make sure you do not go around the back side. If you go around the back side, you have double the work, so that means you have to weave the back side, and that would be really, you know, a pain for you too, because that's a waste of string. So if you put it on the back side too, like this, back up a little bit. If you do it on the back side like that too, then you're wasting string, and so I'll have to have you weave the back side. So just on the front side, not the back side, around the fingers, around the toes. Ah, I broke his toe. Poor little loom. And we're almost there. Okay, so then when I'm done, wherever you end, just chop off the extra. Again, you could get a piece of tape, tape that down to the back, okay? And then we're gonna go get another, I'm gonna take my scissors with me. I'm gonna come over here, I'm gonna get another piece of string. Let's see what would go good with that. Let's do some baby blue. Get another piece of string. I'm gonna do a couple pulls of string. Make sure you cut it where you leave it hanging from the skew's mouth. Okay, Jax, my assistant, come hold the phone. Put right there. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so then what you're gonna do, and it's very helpful if you have a pencil. You can borrow a colored pencil if you want. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna weave. When you weave, you always weave over, under, over, under. So I'm gonna take my pencil and I'm gonna go, it doesn't matter how you start, but I'm gonna go under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over all of my yarn here. Okay, and when I'm done, you can see that the pencil helps to make like a little space for you to put your string through, and it helps for you to check it to make sure every other one pops up. Okay, so every other one's up. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my string through my yarn space. Maybe. The Secrets has fat fingers. Okay. And then after I have that done, I'm going to push it up to the top, my string. And I could use the pencil to kind of push it up. Then I'm going to remove the pencil, and whenever you're starting a new string, whether it's the beginning or if you're just trading out strings and starting a new one, you always have these floater strings. And these floater strings, you can't just leave them like that. You have to lock them into place. Otherwise, it'll fall apart when you take it off. So I'm going to take this string and I'm going to lock it in by weaving it back through. So I'm going to weave it back in, over, under, the opposite of what it was. And I'm just going to kind of push it up. Like that. So I weaved that back through and tucked it in. Now my string is on this side. So what I'm going to do, and here's a little trick, I could take a piece of masking tape and my pencil, and I can tape the end of my string to my pencil, and this pencil can act as a little chute. A chute is what weavers use to put the yarn back and forth. So now my string is underneath this, or my blue string is underneath this orange string. So now it needs to go on top of. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to go on top now. And so I'm going to do every other one the opposite. So I'm going to use my pencil, go every other one, and then I could just pull through it like this. Okay, now when you get done pulling through, before you push up, you want to hold the end of your string because you don't want this to pull in, because if you pull this in, what's going to happen is by the time you get to the middle, this whole thing is going to shrink in, and it's going to look like an hourglass. It's going to look like somebody put your mug rug on a diet. Oh, I broke it, I'm pulling too hard. And so we don't want a skinny mug rug. We want our mug rug to be fat so it can, we can put our mugs on it, right? So we're going to leave it hanging out. I'm going to hold that yarn right there with my thumb before I pull. And then I'm going to use my fingernails and push up as tight as I can. Okay? Then I'm going to go back the other way. So my yarn is on top this time. So now I'm going to go underneath. Over, under. Always check yourself. Always check yourself before you wreck yourself. Because if you wreck yourself, meaning if you do it bad, or if you do it backwards, if you do it where you miss two, you go over two, or you miss one, then what happens is you have to undo it all until you find the mistake and fix it. You can't just undo that one little part. You have to actually back up all the way to fix it. So I'm gonna look, okay, it's right. Pull through, I hold the edge right here, so that way I don't let it turn into an hourglass. I hold it, okay, and then I push up with my fingernails. Okay, let's pretend I run out of string. Oh no, what do I do? Okay, I'm just gonna tuck in the string I have, weave that in, shooby dooby doo, I'm weaving string, dooby dooby doo, and singing too. Okay, I tuck that in, I push it up with my nails, lock that string in. Oh, I dropped my pencil. Okay. Then, since I tucked in on this side, I'm going to start my new string on this side. And I say, oh, okay, my last one was under, so now I'm going to start over. So I go on this side, I start over with my new string. You could do this also if you just want to start a new color. Just cut off the string you had and start a new color. So I weave through, I pull. I want to leave a little bit hanging out. I push it up. You want to leave all those on the other side. You don't want to leave anything poking up on the front side. You want it to be on the back side. Okay, then I'm going to lock this string in. It's on top, so I got to go underneath. Over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. Push that up, and then I'm ready to continue weaving. Okay, and it looks like I messed up here. but that's because that other string is locked in. So because that string is locked in, it looks like that, but really it's just a locked in string. Once I continue weaving, it'll look right. The locked in strings are kind of out of order. Okay, so that's why we always start on the side that we did not lock in our string, because that's the correct side. The locked in side is not correct. It's the opposite. Woo! Got a little tangled there. Okay, so I hold onto the edge, I pull, and fingernail it up. Push it up. Push it real good. Burn out. How many songs am I going to sing in this weaving tutorial, right? Right? All right, so if you do not understand, I'm here to help you. Unless you're just a random person watching my YouTube video, then in that case, sorry, this is just for my class. We have several days to work on this. I do have some fancy yarn you can use, but you have to get some weaving done with regular yarn first. I'll explain that afterwards. Okay? Happy weaving! Bye!